All right, hello, board, Dr. Cleveland. The first thing I wanted to ask is if I could get permission to meet with the city on closing Center Street, right at the north end of the football field. I highlighted the yellow part. So we're really, our schedule over there is moving good. So it would help us if we could close this down to prep for the future building projects. I've had a preliminary meeting with Patsy Christie. It went well. There's quite a few steps involved into closing this section of the street. But the city is willing to help us get that accomplished if you guys are okay with it.
Is Center then going to continue in that little piece, or is that also going to just?
Yeah, so we have that parking area on the north side of the 1000 building, so that would leave access to that parking. And then the future indoor facility we would build, there would be a parking lot across from that. So you could get into the new parking or into the 1000s. And this also leaves Kansas Street, so you could go from Huntsville into our parking lot or over to Virginia Street to cut down by the Smile Center. So it's really just closing the end of that north zone for when we do the future building. It'll make it safe for the kids and the staff to cross. We'll be able to fence that off and really secure that whole area. But if we did go ahead and close it now, we would go ahead and block off the street and then remove all the asphalt and get some green space. As you know, I'll show you in some pictures, but we're raising that field. So we're trying to get the elevations set on this phase, so when we start the other one, we don't have to redo anything. We've added some new electric service and some new water on this project that will actually feed into that one when we're ready to start that project. The process should take, depending on when we take it to the city, about a month to complete.
So really, this request is just permission to ask the city.
Yeah. I had a preliminary meeting with Patsy, but if you guys are okay with it, I'll get into it more and start pulling together everything needed to make it happen.
This is gonna inconvenience.
So do you need a formal motion to move forward, or just our blessing to go forward?
Yep, just your blessing to move forward. And we own all the property right there now, so should be pretty easy.
Go forth and do it.
Yep.
Okay. At George Elementary, they're making a lot of progress over there. This is actually the cafeteria. They're getting, most of the above ceiling is completed. We're on track to get the cafeteria and the gym right around school ending. So hopefully we can move everything into those areas and do what work we need in the original building. They've set the generator that'll run George, and they're feeding all that into the electrical room now. They've got all the curbs in and all the base in, getting ready for pavement to go in.
Will the new cafeteria have a stage area like all the other cafeterias?
Yeah, it'll have a stage area. There'll be a music room that has a link to that stage area. And then, so the main work over there, that kitchen, we're gonna pretty much flip the layout of it. We're gonna move the freezer cooler and move the serving line to the opposite side because the cafeterias are swapping sides. And the old cafeteria will become the library. And then the library, we're gonna make into 2 more classrooms. So that'll give Mr. Swope some more classroom space. Because right now he's got some mobile classes that move and stuff. So it'll help him out. This is the entrance to the gym. They're getting ready to start putting those external panels on and finish that up. This is the new gang restrooms. They're starting to put tile on. They'll start putting fixtures in this and finishing that up. So, they're making good progress at George. Southwest is the same way. Alan took some of the staff over last week and let them walk through. So it's moving. We've got some temporary CFOs, so we're going to be able to start moving staff, all the staff belongings and all the furniture and the equipment out of the kitchen as soon as school gets out.
Jeremy, did you have good feedback from the staff?
Yeah, I didn't make it over there. We had a lot of things going, but Alan took two different groups of staff through it. Everything, they all really liked the space. Actually got some good ideas for some of the furniture that's in the original building. We're gonna move over. We'll probably end up putting most of it upstairs for the first part of the summer, so we can get all the C of O of the whole building, and then we'll put it all in place. So the big push over here is the utilities right now are overhead. As soon as school gets out, we're gonna disconnect the original building. I took a big generator over there. We're gonna refeed in the old building on the generator. So we'll have lights for the asbestos abatement, and so we can remove all the material we want to keep out of it. And that'll take about 2 weeks. I'll have about 5 days to get all the stuff out of it and everything we want, and then about another week to set up for that demolition to start. But this is upstairs looking out. They've got the covered area on. They're doing the final floor polishes on all the concrete. This is the auxiliary gym, and they actually have some of the main gym floors on it now. This was a couple days ago. They were prepping the subfloor. This is the band room. They're putting all the Tectum panels on. They've got ceiling tiles and lights going in. So they're making a lot of progress. This is upstairs looking down one of the halls. They're putting in the pendant lights, just finishing up all the ceiling tiles, putting door hardware on. They'll be ready to switch over to our keyway probably in the next 2 weeks. At Springdale High, so these pictures they're about a week old, but all the turf's been removed on the football field. Scoreboards are removed. They actually put the monopole in today for the new video board. They've got all the electric pretty much stubbed in. The water's stubbed in. Where the old locker room was, there's a compaction issue there. We're worked through that yesterday and got that going, so they'll be filling that in, getting it ready for the new bleacher piers, and there'll be sidewalks over that area. There's another view of it. But this project, they're making a lot of progress on it. If we can get it to stop raining for a little bit, they'll make a lot more.
I was over there today, and it was like ants everywhere.
Yeah, anytime it's not raining, they're getting a lot of work done. They can't get a lot of big semis out on this when it's really wet. But they're making all the connections. We have found a few issues once we started digging in here. They're working through those as they find them. That's where the wrestling room was set, and so they had to undercut that about 6 feet. So they're going back in it with base right now.
That's where the really bad soil was, right?
Yeah, it's really soft. You couldn't do it when you did a roll test. You were getting about 6 inches of. You would sink down about 6 inches in spots. So they're going to let it dry up. We're going to add some geomats to secure that up. But it's not too big of a deal.
I also was told today they were putting the new lights up. They were putting the LED lights on one side.
Yeah, so they're doing the monopole today, and then they started on all the LED lights on the field today. They'll have those done probably this week. I'd have to get an update for sure, but they go pretty quick because we're using the same poles, same crossbars, just changing out the fixtures. On the tennis court, this is the south set of courts. The poles are in, all the post tension's in. They had to take some density samples there, which they were going to do that yesterday afternoon or this morning. And then once we get that data back, it's ready to pour, and they were planning on pouring that Friday. And then once they get that poured, then they will finish out the north section and get all that leveled up, put into grade, and all the infrastructure in. But it looks really good over there. We did have to extend those courts were kind of diamond shaped. They weren't square. So we had to extend that pad to the south and the east about 1.5 feet to square it up. Central Junior High, I just took one picture. They've had a lot of demo going on, but that new CMU wall there is actually a brand new wall that closed in the auxiliary gym. It had a temp wall up, but we had to demo down the old building to put in the footings to hold that wall. And then they've started putting footings in for phase 2. So phase 2 will pretty much take off all this area you see, and then it'll turn and go to the west, out to where the tennis courts are. That'll actually be the kitchen and cafeteria right there. So now they can start all the footings and get all the mechanicals started and really get on to phase 2. That's all I had. Do you guys have any questions on any of the construction? We do have.
Baseball and softball scoreboards look awesome.
They look good. Donald was out there today, getting some video of them. They're complete at HAR-BER. Springdale High, we completed on Sunday. We got that all finished up. HAR-BER football field, we've took down the scoreboard. It's gone. I talked to Fimple about 4:15. He was out there marking the spot for the new monopole. They're gonna start digging that one tomorrow. So they'll put the monopole in, concrete it in, and then the next day they'll start putting on structure. It will probably be done by Sunday. These crews, they come in stages, and they'll work through getting the physical sign up, and then once we get the data and the electric done, my crew's doing that. Then another crew will come in and actually get it all up on the network. They'll work with Paul Miller, and then they'll get Donald out there and do some training on it. They put the monopole in at Springdale. We needed it in before we start adding the dirt. We had to set that level before the field got added onto. And then the HAR-BER arena, still got some structural approvals to get done, but we're close. The boards are ready to go. My guys have started putting in conduits into those to get the data and the power, but we're just needing a few more approvals to make sure the weight of the scoreboard will work with the structure that's there. Otherwise, we'll have to build some trusses to hold it. But so we're getting close. We should finish all of them up. I'm hoping by the end of July they'll all be done and functioning. And then we had 28 buildings that had hail damage on the roofs. So we've got probably about 80% of them done. We'll do the other 20% as we're actually started Archer this week. And then we've got Hunt to do, and then just a bunch of just cafeterias and little sections all around the district. But that should all be done by school starting.
I guess maybe the work session that we're trying to create, one of the agenda items, I think, for that will be to look at a schedule maybe of when to have some grand openings. And we have a lot of grand openings this next year, which is a good thing, but it'll be a little bit of time. You know, the new arena, the new athletic facilities at Springdale High, Central Southwest. There's just a lot, George. There's just a lot. And another thing too, just on the side, if it's okay with you, we're having some issues with this elevator in this building, and Jeremy has a schedule. If you want to tell them about it, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we're going to start at 7:30 in the morning. This elevator is it's outdated. They don't make parts for it anymore. So anytime we have issues, we have to just scramble to find used parts to get it functioning. And with needing to get ADA access here, we've been working on it for about 6 months to get it scheduled. So at 7:30 in the morning, we're gonna close down the basement entrance. We'll still leave it passable if we have an ADA need, but we'll start down there. We can't just change the elevator. We have to bring the building up to today's code instead of the 95 code. So there's about a month of upgrades to do in this building before the elevator starts. So next month, we're gonna move the board meeting to a different building. And then I'll have everything done by the,
Yeah, if it's
End of-
okay.
end of
We're
July.
thinking about just right next door, same campus, in that cafeteria, if that's all right with y'all. Okay.
that will also give me time, we're gonna do some work in this room. So, we've got that scheduled, new carpet, so that'll give me time to get it done.
Spotlight for the president.
Yeah, we can put a spotlight on the
Already
president.
making changes, huh?
Well, they've worked, I don't know if you can tell, but they've worked on the audio and visual and everything over there, so there's some more of that cabinetry that needs to be prepared too, so we'll have that all ready. Hopefully by the July board meeting, the 16th works for you all, and then we'll be back in here. That gives us extra week as well.
Yeah,
All right.
all right.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, thanks.